The largest tornado research effort of all time is taking place right now, and it's called Vortex 2. These tornado chasers, mostly university researchers, have all converged on the Plains states, also called Tornado Alley. So for more on this, we're going to Weather Channel meteorologist Mike Bettis. He's right there in Enid, Oklahoma. Mike, when you think about what they're about to do, this could be so dangerous. What is it these researchers are hoping to find with this much risk?
Ultimately, what they're trying to find, Alex, is a tornado, because that is their goal here, to try to improve lead times on tornado warnings to help put more people into safe haven before a tornado strikes. And so they're using some of the most technologically advanced equipment that you've ever seen, including 10 mobile Doppler radars. This is just one of them. It's a rapid scan, and what they do is they get several kilometers from the tornado, and then they start scanning with the radar, just like you would see a radar at an airport, and they get tremendous data from the tornado itself. But that's not the dangerous job, Alex. The dangerous job are the teams that deploy these probes, and what they have to do is actually get right on the tornado's edge. These weigh over 100 pounds. They measure wind speed and temperature, and this gets tremendous surface data from very, very close to the tornado. So they get in there, they deploy them, and they get out as fast as possible. They also measure precipitation with this very high-tech device here. It's called a distrometer. Actually a laser beam between there. It measures precipitation that falls between it, how big it is, and how fast it falls. Now, all this data, Alex, will be used and analyzed, and hopefully at some point in time, these researchers will be able to figure out the who, what, where, when, and why of tornadoes. But believe it or not, we know very little about right now. And one thing they want to do, Alex, is reduce the number of false warnings, which right now in this country is 70%. And a lot of reason why people don't take tornado warnings all that seriously. So they're trying to get those numbers to improve here. 4 more weeks to go. Haven't seen a tornado yet, but they're keeping their fingers crossed that over the next couple of weeks they're going to see what they came to find.
Yeah, well, I guess they're very honorable hopes there, because you get those tornado reports, and if it doesn't come to materialize, it's like, well, you know, who pays attention after a while? So you have a great point there. Mike Bettis, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Using groundbreaking technology, the Weather Channel and a team of scientists from around the world are actively looking for tornadoes. The Weather Channel's Mike Bettis joins us now live from, let's see, that's Hall County. Is that, yep, Hall County, Nebraska. So what is the latest from there? We've been watching this as it's developed. What are you guys getting today?
Today we're getting suntan, Alex, because the Vortex 2 project has been snake bitten. Who would have thunk it, right? 3 weeks out here on the largest tornado field research project in history, and about 6,000 miles traveled, Alex, and exactly this many tornadoes. 0, unfortunately. We're hoping the luck will change early next week. The atmosphere is just not cooperating, and so instrumentation like this, the rapid scan radars, and all of the dowels that you see here, the Dopplers on wheels, they are just not getting the data that they need because the atmosphere is not giving them a tornado. But I do want to show you some of the dangers of storm chasing. Take a look at this vehicle, and a lot of the storm chasers will tell you, what do they fear the most? Not really the tornado, but hail, Alex, because that's what your car looks like after you do what's known as a core punch in storm chaser lingo. That's when you go right through the center of the storm and you get into that big hail. This is baseball-sized hail that did this kind of damage. But the one thing that they do is they budget for extra windshields. Some of the units here have budgeted a dozen new windshields for their vehicles. They've got a long way to go. They've only used up 1 windshield so far. So they're hoping, and we're keeping our fingers crossed, Alex, that probably early next week, we're thinking Monday, another decent chase day for Vortex 2. Yeah.
Well, the windshields, you got to keep those things clear and free, but it's almost like those baseball-sized hail imprints. It's like a badge of honor or something for somebody in that kind of business.
So there's a reason that they haven't repaired this vehicle yet. Look at all these dents, because you're right. It's like bragging rights. If you've got big baseball, if you went through that and you survived, I think you've done okay, right? So if we could get more dents on the cars, I think all the researchers here would be very, very happy.
Well, let's hope. You say you got a couple more weeks to go, right?
2 more weeks. The project doesn't wrap up until June 13th. But keep in mind, if they don't see any this month at all, or even this entire 5-week project, Alex, they'll do it again next year. It's a 2-year project, so they're increasing their odds by doing it for 2 years.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mike Bettis. Good to see you.
When this F3 tornado struck Mulvane, Kansas 5 years ago, Steve Green saw it from a vantage point most never lived to tell about.
I'll never forget seeing what I thought was a giant piece of broccoli coming at me, and as it got close, I realized it was a tree.
What kept him safe was his own invention, the tornado attack. With military-grade windows, 90-some dashboard gadgets, weather-reading equipment, and this. The vehicle can drop down in seconds when a twister approaches.
The TA-1's designed to park in front of the path of the tornado and suck to the ground and stay there and allow the tornado to pass. Air can't get under me. If the air can't get under me, it can't lift me. Therefore, it gives me a security.
In the vehicle design, you can see traces of Green's previous profession as a NASCAR driver.
But Mother Nature is the most powerful force on Earth and kills more people than racing ever will.
That realization set him on the ride of his life 7 years ago when he created this machine, now worth $500,000, to hunt tornadoes.
Somewhere over the rainbow in the Wizard of Oz, if you're on the right side of a tornado and you're in proper position, there's always a rainbow.
He hopes the data he collects will help scientists and forecasters.
This tornado right here, 15 minutes ago I drove my truck inside.
Back then, in 2004, his camera didn't roll. Within a couple of years, Green's mission had come to a standstill.
Whether it was funding or health issues, we stepped back. This year we're back.
Preparing to stare down the eye of the storm once again.
As strange as this sounds, I hope we don't see anything because people get hurt. And that's why we're trying to stop this.